Suddenly, a rapid knock echoed from outside the door. The rioters had broken through the police barricade and reached the hotel where Jack and his family were staying. Without wasting a second, Jack grabbed his loved ones and rushed toward the rooftop. The place was already crowded with foreigners desperate to escape. Down below, an angry mob had gathered. As the crowd on the rooftop scrambled to come up with a plan, a helicopter approached from the distance. But as it drew closer, everyone froze. A familiar figure appeared inside, and in an instant, the rooftop was littered with bodies. At that very moment, the main door gave way, and rioters began pouring in. With no other option, Jack led his family to the edge of the building. He knew their only chance of survival was to jump to the rooftop of the building across the alley. The mob was closing in. Jack didn't hesitate. He picked up his youngest daughter and hurled her across the gap. His wife, who had already made the jump, caught the little girl in her arms. Next up was their older daughter. But just as Jack tried to throw her, she panicked and clung tightly to his neck, paralyzed with fear. They nearly fell, but someone nearby grabbed hold and pulled them both back to safety. Determined not to risk it again, Jack tied his daughter's hands together with a belt and tossed her across. Then, taking a deep breath, he jumped too. When they reached the other rooftop, they realized the access door was locked. Jack had no choice but to start kicking it. The noise drew attention. Gunfire erupted from the building they had just left as the rioters opened fire again. Desperate to escape, Jack and his family climbed down the side of the building using the outer columns, making their way to a lower floor. But just as they caught their breath, a thunderous rumble filled the air. To their horror, a tank had appeared outside. Sensing the danger, Jack smashed through the glass of an office window. The family barely crawled inside when the tank opened fire. The entire building was reduced to rubble. Buried beneath the debris, Jack and his family took cover, using fallen bodies as a shield. Through a crack, they watched in terror as the rioters continued their rampage, killing anyone left inside. The family huddled together, trembling with fear. Eventually, the attackers moved on. Cautiously, Jack and the others emerged from the ruins, but they failed to notice someone else was still in the building. As Jack and his wife pored over a map among the wreckage, a strange sound suddenly echoed from nearby.